on wordplay, and if you don't hear the sounds, you just don't get it. Well, try to think of one of your favorite sounds. Maybe it's water falling over rocks in a mountain stream. Maybe it's how your grandpa used to laugh. Growing up, one of my favorite sounds, it's kind of funny, but it was a windmill creaking outside the house that would put me to sleep. And I was actually kind of upset when my dad moved the windmill. Now try to describe to someone like my friend Dawn that's never heard anything what something sounds like. Just like trying to explain what something sounds like to someone that's never experienced it before, they can't comprehend it. And that's kind of like we can't comprehend heaven because we've never seen it. We've never heard the noises there. Let's start with the resurrection. What a spectacular, glorious event it will be when we see Jesus with tens of thousands of angels coming to take us to where God is. Let's turn to 1 Thessalonians 4. First Thessalonians 4, verses 16 and 17. It says, "For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, with the trumpet of God, and the dead will rise in Christ first." It says there, the Lord himself will come. He doesn't send a chauffeur to get us. He can't wait to see us. I used to make deals with Bruce. When our kids were going to Campion Academy in Loveland, Colorado, I said, "Why don't you take them? I'll go and get them when it's time for them to come home on breaks." I never wanted to send them away, but I always wanted to go get them. And that's the way God's going to be. He's so anxious for us to be there with him. Let's look at Matthew 24:31. Matthew 24:31 says, "And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." So I think my guardian angel that's been with me all my life will come and meet me there as I come up from my grave and take me to meet the Lord in the air. And you know, we may need someone. It may be kind of confusing. We're told that we go in the grave, we come out of the grave the same statue as we went. So think of the people before the flood. I mean, there may be a giant resurrected beside me. And I think we may not even notice all of that because we will be in such awe seeing Christ coming for us. 1 Corinthians 15. (51). 1 Corinthians 15:51 to 53. "Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruption should put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality." And in 1 Corinthians 13:12, For now I see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know, just as I am also known. So to me, this tells us that we will know each other. We'll recognize each other. Our personality, our personal identity is preserved in the resurrection, and everyone has their own character, but glorified bodies. Let's turn to 1 John 3:2. And I'm reading out of the New King James Version. Says, Beloved, now we are children of God, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be, but we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Another thing that Ellen G. White mentions is that as little infants come from their dusty beds, that they will be reunited with their mothers. Won't that be beautiful? And then there are going to be little ones there that have no mother. For one reason or another, the mothers didn't make it to heaven. So I kind of wonder if maybe some of those babies will be reunited with ones that wanted to be mothers and were not able to. I don't know God's plan for family in heaven, but there is mention of children in heaven. And we just don't know. But I know he's got something marvelous planned for us. She also mentions that the redeemed will take 7 days to travel to heaven. This is found in Sketches of Ellen G. White, page 66 and 67. So everything is so vast and huge. Think of what we will get to learn on our way and the sights that we will see. Oh, and to think what it'll be like to see Jesus in the journey to our heavenly home, where he will take us and present us to God the Father. We'll see the mansions that he has prepared for us. We'll be given robes. Not like those robes that you wear around your house, that the sleeves are too long and the cuffs are in the way and the belt doesn't stay tied. No, these are going to be robes of light. And we're promised a crown. There's different kinds of crowns mentioned in several places in the Bible. And I'm not sure what that crown will be like. I'm sure it's not going to be like one of those Miss America pageant crowns that they can't keep on their heads. It's not going to be something in our way. And I just know it's going to be grand. Let's read some of those texts about crowns. 2 Timothy 4:8. Second Timothy 4:8, finally there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me on that day, and not me only, but also to all who have loved his appearing. Then in James 1:12, just a few pages over. Blessed is the man who endures temptation, for when he has been proved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him. And then one more, 1 Peter 5:4. First Peter 5:4, and when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that does not fade away. And you know how they say that you'll get a jewel in your crown for every person you lead to Christ? Let's look up Daniel 12:3. It says, those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the firmament, and those who turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. So maybe we will be like a light. Whatever our crowns will be like, we will all be satisfied with whatever Jesus gives us. With unutterable love, Jesus welcomes his faithful ones with joy, seeing the souls that have been saved by his death on the cross. And we will have joy when we get to heaven, when we see someone there that we've helped bring to Christ, and in turn, someone that they've brought to Christ. We will worship God and reign with him for 1,000 years. During the 1,000 years, we'll get to look over the records of each one that's not there and determine that God has dealt with them fairly. This will establish our faith in God's justice. I can't wait to visit with my angel and learn all of the things that were going on behind the scenes for me in this old world. We'll have Jesus as our teacher, and we'll learn more about his love and understand more about the plan of redemption. And we'll just continually learn. With our glorified bodies, all of our senses will be increased. We'll be able to see things that are hidden from us now. Our hearing will be much better. Our touch, our sense of smell and taste will be so much better than they are now. In Testimonies to the Church, Volume 9, page 286, Ellen White says, the things hard to be understood will then find explanation. The mysteries of grace will unfold before us, where our finite minds discover only confusion and broken promises. We shall see the most perfect and beautiful harmony. She also mentioned that when she was in vision, that in heaven everything was in order. There was perfect harmony, peace, perfect love, beautiful music. And after coming out of vision, this world seemed dark, and the singing was very harsh, and she wished that she could go back. Language is altogether too feeble to attempt the description of heaven. As the scene rises before me, I am lost in amazement. This is Ellen G. White. Carried away with the surpassing splendor and excellent glory, I lay down the pen and exclaim, oh, what love, what wondrous love. The most exalted language fails to describe the glory of heaven or the matchless depths of the Savior's love. Let's turn to Psalms 115:16. Psalms 115:16. The heavens, Even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth he has given to the children of men. So the Lord has promised us this earth. He will renew it for us. And we're told that it will be purified by fire. And just think, we're going to get to watch as God recreates our earth. We weren't here for the first creation, but we get to watch him recreate our earth. Let's turn to Revelation 21, and we'll take a look at some things that John saw in vision. And can you imagine the reunion John's going to have with Jesus and his disciples and Adam, all those that walked personally with God? Okay, Revelation 21, let's read verses 2. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And let's skip over to 10 through 14. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like a most precious stone, like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. Also she had a great and high wall with 12 gates, and 12 angels at the gates, and names written on them, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. 3 gates on the east, 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, and 3 gates on the west. Now the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and on them were the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Then in the next few verses, it explains how big the city is in furlongs. And some people have figured that out in our measurements today. Some think that the ancient way to figure it was by the circumference, and figures it to be 375 miles long, wide, high, and that's roughly the size of New Mexico. So that's a huge city. Others have figured that to be 1,500 miles each side. That's even a huger city. I think someone said that would be like from Canada to Mexico and California to the Smoky Mountains. It's just, and then that high. Whatever it is, it's going to be magnificent. And then 12 foundations. Now, our foundations here are kind of ugly, aren't they? They're concrete. We usually bury them, actually, and try to cover them up. But let's read in verse 19 and 20. And the foundations of the wall of the city were adorned with all kinds of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, and the second sapphire, and the third calcedony, and fourth emerald, and the fifth sardonyx, and sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprase, and the 11th jacinth, and the 12th amethyst. Now those sound like beautiful gems to me. And then verse 21, the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each individual gate was 1 pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, like transparent glass. Now, we haven't seen pure gold, I guess, because we've never seen transparent. And then in verse 22, it says, "But I saw no temple in it, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb was its temple." He's going to be there in person with us. Verse 23 says, "And the city had no need for the sun or the moon to shine in it, For the glory of God illuminated it, and the Lamb is its light. So we can't even imagine what it's going to be like. Sometimes we can almost relate more of what won't be there. Let's read Revelation 21:4. And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying, and there shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. And then in verse 8, it gives a list of the kind of people that won't be there. And then let's look at Revelation 7:16. They shall neither hunger anymore or thirst anymore. The sun shall not strike them or any heat. I want to share a few of my ideas about maybe what won't be there. I think we'll have some kind of form of leadership, but maybe God appointed, not these nasty elections that we have. There won't be any weeds. Won't it be fun to garden in heaven? There won't be these sandstorms either. No more dusting. We won't have guilt or worry or deadlines to meet. It's eternity. No worries, no goodbyes, no gossip, no jealousy, no dieting. We won't even have to figure out what to wear for that day. And we won't have to do laundry. We'll have that robe of righteousness. We won't need to keep up with keys either. We won't have to lock anything. How many times have we lost our keys? How many times have I had renters bring me to town to unlock their house? Won't be any need for keys. Some of us will have to change our occupation. We won't need any health care. Cheryl and Joyce and Sabira, y'all may just want to study the sciences or whatever interests you. We know that we will serve each other, so there will be some kind of service. There won't be any law enforcement, Jim. No eye doctors. We won't even need country songwriters. Have you ever thought about it? They're just sad songs. I don't know if there'll be any need for house movers, Bruce. But imagine your knees won't hurt in heaven. You won't have to line up service people to handle the wires for a house move. You won't have to deal with Santa Fe to get a permit. You might not even have to haul jacks under a house. I don't know. I don't even know what kind of house it's going to be. I mean, if we're going to have some of those pretty foundations too.
I don't want to touch the foundation.
Well, maybe a group of friends or some angels can come help lift it and fly it over there. How many times have you wished for a crane to set a house where somebody wants it that's impossible to get it there? So I don't know, but it'll be fantastic. I know we won't be bored there. We'll meet people that we've read about or heard about, all the way from Adam to present day. We'll travel to other worlds. Won't that be fantastic? Wisdom will increase. Whatever interests you, you can study, and not out of a book or online. Our Creator will be our teacher. I want to start with biology and anatomy and anything to do with animals. Maybe some architecture and astronomy. My list goes on and on. And you history buffs, you can talk to those that lived during that time period, that were eyewitnesses. We'll never run out of time to learn. Plus, we will remember what we learned. That's my problem now. So let's read Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65, verse 21 and 22. And they shall build houses and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and eat their fruit. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as in the days of a tree, so shall be the days of my people. And my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. So we're told we're going to enjoy whatever we're doing in heaven. Let's turn to Revelation 22. Verses 1 and 2. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the middle of its street and on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. I just can't imagine how magnificent that's going to be. Now let's turn to Ecclesiastes 3:11. I think I may have written down the wrong one here. It says, he has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity in our hearts. I guess this is right. Except that no one can find out the work that God does from the beginning to the end. So he has put eternity in our heart. We long to be there with him. We are only given a glimpse of what God has for those who love him. This earth bears no comparison to our eternal life. It's going to be worth it, though. See you there. And Dora is going to have our closing song. I wanted that song, and I didn't give her much notice. So I sure appreciate it, Dora. For my closing prayer, I would like to read Psalms 24:7. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. Amen.